Hello 7th grade, how are you today? Today we are going to start with the second structure in this unit, and this is the last structure that we are going to talk about in this semester. So, these are the modal verbs. What are the modal verbs and what's the use of each of one? Let's start talking about them in this video. So the outcomes of our lesson today, students should be able to know the modal verbs, the use of the modal verbs, and practice the structure. So the modal verbs, الأفعال الناقصة, they are may, might, must, should, ought to, can, and could. Each of them have its use and form, so let's know about them together. So let's start with the first modal verbs. They are may and might. What is the use of them and what do we mean about may and might? May and might or might means ربما تعطيني احتمالية شيء معين. And they are the same. They have the same meaning and the same use. إلهم نفس المعنى وإلهم نفس الاستخدام. ما في فرق بين may or might. What is the use of them? We use them for two things. The first one, possibilities in the future. احتمالية أو إمكانية حدوث شيء معين في المستقبل or for permission. للاستئذان بطريقة مؤدبة politely. So, to recognize more about may and might, I want you to look at these two sentences. Number one, this is the subject. So after the subject we have may, and this is the modal verb. It may rain this afternoon. لسه ما مطرت، ممكن إنها تمطر this afternoon. So look at the verb that we have after may. شوفوا الverb الموجود بعد may. This is an infinitive verb. إذا بدنا نعرف إنه بعد المودل verbs دائما بيجي عندي infinitive verbs. So it, the modal verb may, rain, the verb, infinitive verb, this afternoon, and this sentence talk about possibility to rain this afternoon. إذا إمكانية إنها تمطر أو احتمالية إنها تمطر هذا afternoon. Okay, and the second sentence, may I bring a friend to the party? Look here, we have a question and أنا عم بسأل هون بطريقة مؤدبة politely. So we have to start with the modal verb اللي هي may, then the subject. I bring is the infinitive verb. May I bring a friend to the party? This is for permission, للاستئذان بطريقة مهذبة. So we can say may or might, and both are correct. The second important thing with may and might, if we want to rewrite sentences with may or might, إذا بدنا نعيد كتابة جملة معينة باستخدام may and might. Look at this sentence. Perhaps, ربما تعطيني بنفس معنى may. We will visit Petra next Monday. Here we have a modal verb will. If we want to rewrite this sentence with may, we have to delete what? Excellent. The first thing is perhaps. We delete perhaps, then start with the subject اللي هو subject عندي إياها we. We will visit. بالsentence لازم يكون عندي one modal verb. إذن we have to delete will and put instead of will may. Excellent. So the sentence is we may visit Petra next Monday. So أول إشي بنحذف perhaps, then any modal verb بالجملة, والمودل verb اللي عندي إياه هو will لازم نحذفه ونحط بداله may. طبعا infinitive verb وبكمل الجملة. And look here, next Monday. This is indicates the future tense. Number two, it's possible that she will eat pizza next day. هون بتعبر لي عن الاحتمالية حدوث شيء معين. It's possible, so we have to delete it if we want to rewrite the sentence with may or might. Then start with the subject اللي هي she. Delete any modal verb اللي هي will. So she may eat pizza next day. Now the second thing is about can and could. Can and could used for ability المقدرة على شيء فعل معين or permission in a polite way. So بستخدمها مثل may و might للاستئذان بطريقة مهذبة. And the second use is for ability. What is the difference between can and could? can بستخدمها للتعبير عن قدرتي فعل شيء معين in the present بالمضارع بالحاضر, and could للتعبير عن مقدرتي أو استطاعتي بفعل شيء معين أو كان باستطاعتي in the past بالماضي. كان باستطاعتي أعمل أي شيء لكن في دلالة إن هو بالماضي, but can in the present. Look at these examples. David can speak 3 languages. David حاليا هو بيقدر يحكي 3 languages 3 لغات. So it indicates or the function of this sentence for ability. كان عبرت لي عن مقدرة ديفيد بالتحدث ب3 لغات. And look at the verb here. Speak. Speak is an infinitive verb. As we said, المودل verbs دائما بعدهم infinitive verbs. لكن the second one, he could speak 3 languages when he was 5. إذن هنا بالماضي كان بيستطيع when he was 5 لما كان عمره 5 كان بيحكي 3 languages. في إشي هنا indicates the past tense, so we use could. إذن could ability in the past, will can ability in the present. Look at these 2 questions. Can I sit in the chair? Could I borrow your pen? These 2 questions for permission. Excellent. So the 2 uses of could and can for permission and ability. وحكينا الفرق بينهم, هاي in the present and هاي in the past. And don't forget that we use infinitive verb. borrow بمعنى يستعير, sit, speak. What about must? Must use for obligation and necessity, للضرورة والإلزام. بمعنى يجب عليك, يعني ملزم إنك تعمل هذا الإشي, مثل الرولز القواعد اللي ما بتتغير, مثل الكلاس rules, الترافيك rules, and so on. Look at these sentences. Number 1, you must come on time for the meeting. يعني إذا إجيت بوقت متأخر ممكن إنه ما يصير شيء جيد. So عم بيلزموا إنه لازم يجي بالوقت المحدد للميتينج. You must come. Must بمعنى يجب عليك. Come the infinitive verb and the complement. As we said, we have to use infinitive verb. You must stop smoking. لازم توقف عن التدخين. This is an obligation or something is necessary because إذا ضليتك تدخن ممكن يصير شيء مضر لصحتك. Now if we want to negate must مثل can, can't, could, couldn't, may not. So must, must not or mustn't. You mustn't play in class. إذا واحدة من الرول لازم نعرفها إنه you mustn't play in class, ما لازم تلعب بالصف. This is a rule ولازم إنك تعملها for obligation. Now the last thing, this is should and ought to. Both are used for advice. But the difference between them that should comes without to, but ought comes with to. And we said before that in modal verbs دائما بيجي بعدهم infinitive verb من غير to، لكن في عنا one modal verb بيجي مع to plus the infinitive. Now look at the example. You should be polite with others. إذا الاستخدام should as we said for advice، لا تقديم نصيحة معينة، so أنت لازم تكون مؤدب مع الآخرين. You should be should and infinitive verb. Now if we want to negate the sentence by using should, we have to add yes, not with should. You should not or you shouldn't go there, as we see in this example. This is a contraction for the negative form with should. And this is the same with ought to. She ought to be polite with others. Isn't both are used for advice. So the forms of the modal verbs except ought to، لأنه ought to بيجي معها to، but other modal verbs without to. So the affirmative form subject, modal verb, then the infinitive. With the negative form subject, modal verb, not, and infinitive. In the question, we start with modal verb, subject, and infinitive, or WH word, modal verb, subject, infinitive, and complement. Now let's do this exercise. Circle the correct answer. You eat too much chocolate or you feel sick. Look at this sentence. You eat too much chocolate. تاكل كتير من chocolate ولا رح تحس أو رح تمرض. Can't or shouldn't. أنت ما بتقدر تاكل كتير chocolate ولا ما لازم. Yes, excellent. This is an advice, so you shouldn't eat too much chocolate or you feel sick. Number 2, he speaks Spanish. Must he speak Spanish or can? هذه question بيسأل عن مقدرته بالتحدث بالإسبانية, so we have to use yes, can. Number 3, you do your homework before you go out to play. You ought to or may? May for possibility in the future, لكن ought to advise. Excellent. So ought to. Number 4, I bring your phone. I want to call my friend. Ought to or could? We said that ought to does not come with the negative and questions, but could to ask politely. So, could I bring your phone? I want to call my friends. The last one, I buy that shirt, but I'm not sure. مش متأكد. So, احتمالية شرائي لهذا الشيرت. Excellent. I may buy that shirt, but I'm not sure. So, my students, write these sentences in your notebooks and be ready for the next class.